see you. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here. So I'm just going to get straight into it. So sexual energy is creative energy. And a lot of people are always asking me, Siri, can you manifest using sex? Can you manifest using sex? And the answer is yes. It is sexual energy that creates. Even when you look at sex in itself, children cannot be born onto this planet without sexual intercourse. So sexual energy is all creations are made up of that chai energy. Even the male creations are made up of chai, XY, chai and fire. The feminine energies are made up of chai and chai. 2 chais or 3 chais or 1 chai if you're female. Now, the process of creation according to Oshun force sequence. Now, what is Oshun? I'm going to tell you that everything on this particular planet is created from Nut and Geb. Nut is the mother sky and Geb is the mother earth. You're always hearing people talking about mother earth, mother earth, mother earth, mother earth. All creations were created from 2 feminine deities, which is mother sky and mother earth, both of which came from mother water, Oshun. So Oshun is the creator of all. And then us, we come from the split of Nut and Geb that creates Osiris, Isis, Nephthys, Set. So you guys know about that particular story. Anyway, I'm just gonna be continuing. Now, the Oshun force sequence depicts the process of creation. What is the process of creation supposed to follow? Some people don't even know what sex is, the sexual energy, the path is supposed to follow. So I'm going to be teaching you that right now. Oshun force sequence starts at desire. It tells us that before a child is born, 2 people meet and start a conversation based on common interest. That common interest is the chai that leads to arousal, copulation, pleasure fulfillment, which is orgasm, conception, birth, and then growth. Guys, so listen to me. Oshun force sequence is telling us before anything is created, desire, the desire must be there. The desire must be there. Desire to create must be the starting force. So some people, if you are creating, guys, if you are in my Isis class and you want to create, know that manifestations must start from desire. Creating anything, pregnancy must start from desire first before you move into anything. So before a child is born, 2 people meet and start conversation based on common interest. When your dad and your mom, before they made you, before they decided to get into bed to make you, what were they doing? They had common interest, first of all. Nobody just walks out of Tanzania and then someone coming out of Uganda and then they are mixing to make a child. That doesn't happen. What happens is 2 people, they first of all meet who they are strangers. And then after that strangeness, they connect through common interest. After connecting through common interest, Princess, thank you so much. After connecting through common interest is when a child is born. And this is what Oshun is telling us. Oshun tells us that in order to create, you must start at desire. Then you go to arousal. That desire will lead to you being aroused. After you've been aroused, it will lead to copulation, the sexual intercourse. So you never start at sexual intercourse. You start at desire first, then you go to arousal, then copulation. Then after copulation, you get to pleasure fulfillment, which is the orgasm. And still sexual creation does not end there. It goes on to conception. After you've gotten an orgasm, my friend, if you've ever gotten an orgasm, if you're having sex and you get an orgasm, know that there's something that has been conceived. Orgasm is a spiritual phone call from your ancestors telling you that something has been conceived. So every time you're having an orgasm, ask yourself what is being conceived from that particular orgasm. If it is not a child, then there is a spirit. If it is not a spirit, then there's a deity. If it is not a deity, then there is a manifestation that you are conceiving. So anytime you're having sex and there's an orgasm involved, that orgasm is telling you something has been conceived. And so after conception, then you have birth. After birth, then you have growth. Guys, you must comprehend this, and I'm going to repeat it. This is the process of sexual creation. Whether you are creating your manifestations, whether you're creating a child, whether you're creating a spirit, whether you're creating a deity on this particular planet, it starts from desire. Desire is the mother of expansion. Without desire, there is no expansion on this particular planet. And what does desire? What is the house that represents desire in our body? You know the house that represents desire in our body. It is your vagina if you're a woman, and it is your penis if you're a man. That is the representation of desire on this particular planet. So creation starts from desire, and then after desire you move to being aroused. That desire will arouse. Yes, Scorpio, TJ. Scorpio is what stands for desire. So Scorpio is the creator. It is the mother of creation. Before you create anything, you must start at desire, at Scorpio energy. And so when you even read the story of the Bible, you always listening about Judas, the betrayer, Judas betraying. It is the desire. If you don't have self-desire, then you are not capable of creating anything. And so your Judas will have betrayed you. Don't allow your Scorpio to betray you in your life. Don't allow your Scorpio to betray you, because that Scorpio betrayal is what ruins all the 12 houses. So first of all, you must start from desire of self, guys. Whenever you hear, like most of the time you hear the Americans, they're pushing for the transgender. For a lot of people to become transgender, for a lot of people to become transgender. And at a certain point, that is very demonic. I'm not saying that being a transgender is not demonic, is demonic, but I'm telling you the pushing of the collective essence to be transgender is a demonic spiritual attack. Why? Because the moment you start, when you're born with the XX chromosome and you start moving towards becoming XY, you are empowering the Judas within you to betray your own essence and your own existence. So what you need to do is always make sure, if you want to become a creative force on this particular planet, always make sure you love the essence that you're born with. Always make sure that you love your sexuality, your private parts. If you do not love your private parts the way they are, whether you are female, male, or intersex, if you do not love these private parts that you came with, then that is you allowing Judas to betray your 12 houses. And it will take a very short time for you to be crucified on your own cross like Jesus. So please get into it. So Oshun Force Sequence is always teaching us that in order for you to create, you must start at self-desire. And then desire of outside, the person that you are coming together with. Now self-desire will lead to your arousal, and then your arousal will lead to your copulation. Your copulation, which is the sexual intercourse, will lead to orgasm. Orgasm is a physical manifestation of conception. Anytime you're orgasming, some people you just orgasm and you move on like that. You don't know what you've created. And I'm telling you here today, observe yourself whenever you're having sex. Anytime you're orgasming, something has been conceived, and you must step into the awareness of what. Because as I always teach you about the 12 houses, I'm always telling you, your stuff can be stolen. Your star can be stolen. And it is usually through that process of orgasming. Some people you orgasm and you feel like shit afterwards, telling you that something has been taken, something has left your body, something was conceived out of yourself. And some people after orgasm you feel alive, meaning that something has been put in, you've gained instead of losing. So always just observe. So after orgasm you have conception, and then after you've conceived you will birth, you'll give birth, you'll put to bed. After putting to bed, that thing you've put to bed will grow. That thing you put to bed will grow. And I'm going to continue. It is the chai energy that the ability to connect two people through mutual desires, mutual respect, and mutual passion to create. It is the chai energy that catalyzes manifestations of anything, including children. Slavery and colonization. That is all we are in this particular timeline. A lot of black people, we are just manifestations of ancestors who are experiencing difficulty, slavery, colonization, and we are here as their intentions to fix it. So there are forces that are actually out to stop us from fixing our ancestral intentions. And this is the reason why you must always be stubborn and have rhino totem when it comes to your life path and your essence. Because it is not anything else. Christianity is there to close your eyes, to make you think that you are here to live your life as a good person and then go to heaven. No. You are here as your ancestral manifestation, as your ancestral intention, in order for you to rectify the problems they dealt with, in order for you to rectify the challenges they faced. And after you've rectified it, that is when your essence will now automatically be in heaven. As long as you don't rectify the essence of your ancestors, there is no heaven for you. So get away from the church mentality that tells you that you are here to go to heaven. You are here to turn the other cheek. You are here to turn the other cheek. When you're slapped, you turn the other cheek and then you go to heaven. That is not true. You are here. If your ancestors were colonized, probably when they were birthing you, they were crying because of the systemic racism that were shrinking their essence. So now you are here to make sure that their essence that was being shrinked, you expand it. So please, be a realist on this particular planet. Be a realist. Don't be somebody who you live in psychosis. Be a realist and know what is going on here if you want your life to be easy. Is immorality real to keep your ego? Is immortality real? First of all, immortality is the only thing that is real. Death is just a transitional point. But that is not the point I'm talking about today. So let's stick to the topic of discussion. Now, everyone has a chai attached to their identity. Guys, everyone has chai attached to their identity, to their essence. When your parents were having sex, when your parents were fucking to have you, listen to me very carefully. When your parents were fucking to have you, whatever stories they were talking about, whatever gossip brought them together, whatever news brought them together, that chai is attached to you. That chai is attached to you up to this particular point in time. Now, everyone has a special chai energy attached to their identity, meaning the chai that created you gives you your identity. What is the easiest, most cheap way to know the chai energy that created you as an individual? Now listen, your individual identity is inside the chai tea, gossip, and conversation that your parents were having at the time that they had you. Ask your parents. Some of you, your parents were politicians. They were speaking about Africa moving forward when they were having you. So your essence will naturally want Africa to move forward. Some of you, your parents were dark academic people. Your parents were readers. They were exchanging ideas by the time they were having you. So you will be born naturally wanting to change idea, to continue with that particular chai that your parents were attached to when they were having you. Some of you, your parents had you when they were suffering, poverty stricken. So naturally, your essence will want you to move away from the poverty that your parents experienced in order for you to get their soul and essence into heaven. I hope somebody's getting what I'm talking about. So the best way to know your own identity, guys, you don't need to go to church. You don't need to come to Sirinyarkano. The best way and the easiest shortcut to know your identity is just ask your parents. Guys, what conversations were you having when you were having me? What was on the news during the time that you were having me? Where were you? This is the reason why you find that different siblings can be very different, because they were born at times when parents were at different points in their lifetime. Their siblings, their children that were born when parents were depressed. And then in the same family, their children that were born when the parents had a breakthrough already. These two kids, they will never be the same. Their essence will never be the same. So also, after finding out the chai that made you, your parents orgasm when they were having you, when they were conceiving you, just know that it makes you different even from your siblings. Some people are always asking, I'm the black sheep of the family. I do not fit in with my siblings. Ask your parents what time did they birth you. Maybe your parents birthed you when they were robbed, at a time when they were robbed and they dropped from grace to grass. And then your siblings, they were born at a time when your parents were from grass to grace. So also these are the things that make even siblings different. I'm a rebel in a good way. Could it be my parents were ask? Now these are the things you ask. This is the reason why we want African families to even come together. Guys, don't separate yourself from parents. When you read the book, The Destruction of Black Civilization, The Destruction of African Civilization by Chancellor Williams, you realize that the first thing that the Albedos did was to separate the generations. Like right now in Kenya, you'll find that the Gen Zs, they want to be, we are ourselves, by ourselves, and then the Gen Xs, you guys, you don't know nothing. Don't fall for that. Always connect. Always make sure that your generations, even with your own family, they connect like a never-ending chain. Because those past generations are the ones who gave back to us. So even right now, as we call ourselves, oh, we are the Gen Zs, we are the revolutionaries, know that we are the intentions of those Gen Xs and boomers. We are their intentions, the intentions of the old people, our grandparents. They are the ones who had us as intentions. Without them, we would not be. Because remember, when they were alive, like when our ancestors were alive in the 13th century, we were inside their sperms and inside their ovaries. And right now, as we sit here with you guys, the future generation are inside our ovaries. They are inside our sperms as men and inside our ovaries as women. So the future generation is already here. Just the same way in our parents, in our ancestral past, we were already there. So never separate yourself from your generations. Even if right now in the entire world, Gen Zs, you feel like, oh, we are the revolutionaries, we are the change makers. Don't look down on the people that made us. Without their intentions, we wouldn't be. If anything, we should be thanking them for having such great intentions that are us, for us now to move forward. There will never be moving forward in disintegration. We must always connect in a never-ending chain with the past generations, because we are their intentions. And I'm going to continue. Your individual identity is inside the chai. Is inside the tea, is inside the gossip, is inside the news and the conversations that your parents were having, were engaging in at the time that they had you. Children are their parents' direct intentions, just like descendants are their ancestors' direct intentions. The ovums inside a woman are endless intuition, while the sperms inside the man are endless memories. Now, I'll tell you this, guys. We are the intentions of the people of the past. When we disconnect ourselves from the past, we become like a people, a tree without roots. And at this point, I want my Kenyans, Gen Zs who are here to get it so much. Without roots, a tree without roots does not stand. And guess what our roots are? Our ancestors, the older people that live among us, those are the roots that ground us. So as much as we might see life from a different perspective, we might live at a time of change, let's also find a way to not disrespect the very roots that created us. And some of us, we are intentions of an entire country, an entire village. Some people were born when an entire village was going through a massacre. Some people were born when an entire country was going through drought and systemic racism and colonization and slavery. So always just know also, you might be an intention of your parents, but also you might, out of that intention that your parents had, it might have been the intention of the entire village or the entire country. So So you might have been conceived from the forces of the entire village or entire country. So just always know what created you. What created you? Some of you were created when your parents were doing research. And trust me, that research that they were doing becomes your identity automatically. Some of you were created when your parents were venturing into sports. What about the relationship with the parents? What if the relationship with the parent is toxic? Always adjust your proximity and know this. Guys, when you have a toxic parent, that is just a manifestation of some discord and mismatch that is occurring. Probably maybe a parent had an intention that manifested oppositely. Some of you manifested, you are your parents' fear manifested. Some of you are your parents' worst nightmare manifested. So also always know, some people, not everyone that was sharing a common interest were sharing it positively. Some people were speaking off of fear and they fact off of fear. So you become a manifestation of that. So you become a manifestation of that fear that your parents had. When you're born and you are a manifestation of a fear that your parents had, obviously you're gonna have a discord because you come to now change them. Like autistic children who are autistic, you are born from a parent who was narcissistic and a parent who was an empath. You are born from both polar opposites. So obviously you are going to come and irritate the very existence of the people that birthed you. But guess what? Always know that it is not a personal battle. Develop understanding and develop that and know that nothing on this particular planet happens nothing on this particular planet happens to you. Everything is always happening for you. Everything is always happening for us. And the way you respond towards it is what matters. So if you are your parents' fear, know it, because you will see it. You will just see that the way you live your life and the way your parents were living their lives is two polar opposites. You are living your life embodying the fears that your parents had. And when that is the case, just and when that is the case, kindly recognize and stop fighting your own essence. Hold space for your parents while you adjust your proximity, knowing very well that as you heal yourself on the side, the string, the quantum entanglement will also heal them. Okay? As you heal yourself on the side, the quantum entanglement will also heal them. Some of you think that when you're doing the healing work, you're doing it for yourself. No! You are doing it for everybody that is quantumly entangled with you. So if your mother is doing work, trust me, if she's healing herself, the healing will be passed on to you naturally as well. If you are healing, your parents are gonna. This is how they present, the things are presented. I am doing a healing work, or you, let's say Ella, you're doing healing work. When you've done a healing work successfully, your parents are gonna be presented by. The ancestors are gonna have digested this successfully. Can you also digest it? So that you guys can work together, can be quantumly entangled and elevate together. If your parent decides that no, what she has done, the work she has done, I cannot do, guess what will happen eventually? Your parents will start moving towards disease. If you are moving towards ease and your parents are still intentionally moving towards disease, what will happen eventually is your parents are gonna die. This is where the concept of sacrificing parents comes from. You always hear people say, oh, she sacrificed her brother to get money. She sacrificed her parents to get fame. How do you know this happens? Because sacrifices, it comes both positively and negatively. And I will explain to you how it happens. Yes, it will also help your sibling. Everybody who is quantumly entangled with you will be presented by the papers and be told, okay, you have a sibling who is doing the work. Do you want to follow suit? Okay, I want to follow suit. Okay, sign this contract. You're following suit. If they are presented and they say, oh no, me, I don't have the energy to follow suit, then guess what? They will have to die, my friend. They're going to have to die if they cannot embody embody your essence and help you grow. Because remember, we all come from ancestries, from bloodlines. So the moment you change, everything around you changes automatically. And anything that refuses to change dies. Now, this is the concept of where sacrificing people comes in. Also negatively, you might be born into a family of people who are empaths. They don't do evil. They don't do evil. And you know you come from a family where your mother is a straightforward empath who doesn't do evil. And then you meet people and they tell you, okay, in order for you to achieve this, you're going to have to do this, to kill. And you know very well you come from a family of people who don't kill. The moment you accept that, okay, I'm going to kill, and you know very well you come from a family where your mother is against killing, you accept to kill, you've killed your mother as well. You've sacrificed her essence, because her essence that birthed you was like, we are pro-life, we don't kill in this family. And then you decide to murder somebody. You've murdered the essence of your own parent and they'll die. Guys, this spirituality is as straightforward as that. You do the work, the people who are quantumly entangled with you refuses to heal, they die. You become a demon and the people who are quantumly entangled with you remain angelic, and you successfully become a demon, those angelic ones will die. Know the spirituality behind this quantum entanglement. Like right now, if I decide to do something that my own father's essence is against, and I decide to do it taffededly, to go against his essence because he's the one who gave birth to me, is going to be stricken by sickness, because these things will be presented. Nothing stays hidden under the sun. Even if it doesn't get physically presented to your parent, it will be spiritually presented to them, and they'll know that my son has killed somebody. My son has shed blood. They will know through their essence, and that will kill them. So also know how your own healing affects other people. It can be positive. You can break generational cycle, for example, of poverty, and you breaking it from a personal level will help your parents, because they are quantumly entangled with you. They will also naturally start to break the cycle of poverty within them. So also always know, it is two-way. It is a two-way traffic. What about us going against religion from religious background? Now listen. If you come from a religious background, like maybe your parent is a bishop, your father is a bishop, and then you decide that, nope, I'm not going to go to this direction of bishophood, and you decide to venture into the African spirituality, and your father is against you venturing into the African spirituality. Now the question is going to be, is this African spirituality helpful to you? Is it helpful to your ancestors? Because now the ancestors are going to choose to be on the side of the person who is delivering them from hell into heaven. So if you're choosing to venture into African spirituality when your father is the bishop of the Vatican, it is going to be a war. It is going to be a tug of war. It is going to be a tug of war. The strongest side is going to win. And the strongest side that win, this other side is going to be presented by purpose and told, are you willing to cross over the floor? Are you willing to join them now that you cannot defeat them? Then they will say yes or no. If they say no, I'm not willing to join them, then automatically your essence is going to shrink them to death. If they say that, yes, I'm going to join my child, I'm going to leave the Vatican spirituality to go into the African spirituality with my child, then guess what? Their essence will increase. So it's also always about choice. Your parent will have to choose the side that they want to be on. If you come from a religious background, but you don't want to venture into religiousness anymore, and your parents are unhappy about it, they're going to have to make a choice of whether they want to stand with you on the side of the spirituality that you've chosen, or they want to stay in Egypt and die there. And that you cannot do anything about it, my dear. There are things you can never do anything about, as long as they are also individual entities. It is them to make a decision on the side that they want to be on. But you always continue to do what is best for you. Now, the flip of that is, you come from a family of spiritualists, but you decide to become a demon. You decide to become a demon successfully because you're very strong in your essence. Then your parents are going to be asked, do you want to become a demon to support your child too? Or do you want, you never support him? so that you drop your essence. If they say, no, I will not support my child to become a demon, I'd rather remain in my spirituality, then if your demonness is very big, the parents are going to die. Eventually, they're going to die, shrink to death, and leave you to venture into your demonness by yourself. So also always just know that. Now everything is connecting. I'm glad. Always just know that you do not, personally make decisions for people, but the way you live your life is always breaking generational cycles. And when you break generational cycle at your own individual level, babe, can I have water? If you break your own individual generational cycle, then know that your parents will be presented by papers to be told, okay, your child successfully broke this cycle. Are you willing to join him on that side, or you want to die? Then they will choose that, oh, I want to join my child, and they will join you. Some will say, no, I'd rather not over my dead body, and they will die. So that is where the concept of sacrificing relatives comes in. That is where the concept comes in. How do you grow in your essence? 7 days, the 7 pillars, Gadoni. I'm always teaching people here about the 7 pillars that make your 12 tribes, your 12 parts of the body. That is the only way you excel in your essence. Your essence is inside the 12 houses that are being empowered outside by the 12 tribes. And you get 7 days a week to work on each. So the more you work on that, the more the essence grows. Now, as I was telling you this, the process of creation now delves back into the ovum inside of a woman. The ovums that are inside of a woman. Inside the stomach of a woman, you find the ovums. Now, the ovums that are inside of a woman represent endless intuition. Woman, the ovums that are inside of you, that ovary that you have inside of you, it is a connection to infinity. It connects you to the future and it connects you to the past. It is an infinite connection that you have with this particular planet. That is why women are gods. Now, as a man, the sperms inside of a man are endless memories. Memories are temporary. They come and they go. Intuition is constant, it stays. Okay, so now these are the two things that are involved in creation. When memories from a man are properly convincing to the intuition of a woman, listen to me, especially heterosexual people, this is for you. When memories from a man is properly convincing to the intuition of a woman, her ovum, which is her intuition, opens up to be fertilized. And her intuition and her intuitive space occupied. This is the relationship that women have with men. The men have memories, which is represented of sperms. When you see a man having sperms, just know they have memories. When you see a woman going on her period, just know that she's shedding the intuition. Now, when memories from a man are properly convincing to the intuition of a woman, her ovum, which is her intuition, opens up to be fertilized. And her intuitive space occupied. As I'm always teaching you ISIS people, my subscribers, I'm always telling you that women, we are made up of chai. Chai is a representation of water element, air element, and earth element. Meaning, as a woman, if your chai is water, then it means that you have space inside emotions. You have space inside water. You are the women who a man can marry you and they have a ship in the ocean and their ship will be very successful in that ocean. Their ship will never have an accident. Why? Because you are a woman of water element and you have space in water. So anything that connects to you, you have a space, you can create anything in that water. If you are a woman who your essence is earth, then you have a space on land. You can create anything on land. And creation is not always children. This one now goes to the queer women. I want to tell you that creation is not just children that are created on this particular planet. When you see somebody has a ship inside the ocean, know that that's a creation. And for that ship to excel inside that ocean, there's a particular woman that offered that space. For a man to build a skyscraper on land, men do not have spaces on land. They do not have spaces in water. They don't have spaces in air. A woman must be involved to give out her space for that skyscraper to be successful, or else it will have an accident, it will disappear because it does not have a space there. So as a woman, always also know, the moment you're giving your womb to somebody, you're giving them space. If you're a woman of earth element, you're giving them your earth element space. If you're a woman of air element, you're giving them your air element space. If you're a woman of water element, you're giving them your water element space. So it's either they will create people there, people who will work in that water, or they will create, you will create an entity, a vessel, or something that is now doing the work in the waters. I hope that is making sense. So I'll repeat this. When memories from a man are properly convincing to the intuition of a woman, her ovum, which is her intuition, opens up to be fertilized and her intuitive space occupied. Men are only here to convince you, your intuition. Woman, if your intuition is not convinced by a man, please don't open your legs, don't give them space. A lot of women of our time, they don't know this particular information, and this is the reason why they open their legs even without being properly convinced. Don't get pregnant to somebody who has not properly convinced your intuition. Women always know the spaces they want to create. This is why women are naturally inclined to wanting to marry into wealth. For example, Nilotic women like us, we used to be exchanged by cows. Exchanging us with cows does not mean that now we are worth cows. Like now I am, like a cow. No, cow is representative of wealth, and women must always be exchanged with wealth. Wealth is what creates. So women, if somebody is not convincing to your intuition, if a man is not convincing to your intuition, don't give them space to create in your space, because women are the ones with spaces. Men do not have space. So if you see any man occupying any space on the planet, know there's a woman behind it. There's a woman behind it. Therefore, to know your individual identity and your purpose on this planet using a shortcut, gather courage and go ask your parents, which memories were they on when they made you? Ask your father, what memories were you on? Ask your mother, what intuition was she on that enabled her to open her legs for your father? Just ask these questions. They're very embarrassing to some people, but literally, if you want to know yourself, you gotta put the embarrassment aside and go and ask the questions about your essence. Okay? Now, after you've asked this question, and what question are you asking? Ask your parents what conversations were they engaging in when they were fucking to have you. What tea were they drinking? What gossip were they feeding into? What news were they consuming that brought them together in common interest to fuck and make you? What goals did they have? What ambitions? What was inspiring to them? Because that is your identity. It's as simple as that. Now, after ask yourself, whatever the common interest your parents had when they made you, were they from a jealous or insecure standpoint? Because if they were, now you will be a contradiction to their existence. Were they self-destructive when they were having you? For example, remember the albedo people. There are some albedo people. There is a particular point in time where white people were majorly fucking from the news that black people were inferior. From the news, like for example, look at the Belgians and the Congolese. There was a time when the Congolese people were fucking from postcards of Congolese hands being chopped off. If you have parents who are fucking to such kind of intentions, then you will have a very difficult time existing on this particular planet, especially during this time, during now. So when you look at children outside there, don't look at children as some innocent things. Look at children in relation to who their parents are. Because all children are imitations of their parents. Mtoto wa nyoka ni nyoka. All children are creations of their parents. So, after ask yourself whatever the common interest your parents had when they made you. Were they from a jealous or insecure standpoint? Were they self-destructive or revolutionary and sacred? Some people were created from revolutionary and sacred parents. When you look at the way droplets of rain fall from the clouds are the ancestors. When the droplets fall, those are children. Look at raindrops falling from the clouds as children falling from their ancestors. When those droplets are falling, they're very pure. They are very pure. But some droplets, they fall in sewage. There are droplets that fall in freshwater lakes. There are droplets that fall in the forest. There are droplets. So children are also the same. When children are coming from ancestral realm, they come very pure. But then when now the parents who are bringing them engage, some parents are demonic and they are sewage to the essence of their children. So the children, they fall into sewage. The same way a droplet of water, it could have fallen in an ocean, it could have fallen in the lake, but it ends up falling in the sewage. So some people are like that. So that is the reason why you must know. What were the common interests your parents had when they made you? Were they coming from a jealous and insecure standpoint? Because that is sewage. They will make the child that they are making is gonna fall into sewage. Were they self-destructive, sewage? Or were they revolutionary, sacred? Were they sacred and revolutionary? Now, were they happy and progressive, or were they sad and retrogressive? All these affect you. Now that is how you know. When you are a child who was dropped in sewage, now you know that, oh fuck, I was dropped in sewage. And when you are aware, awareness is key. Now you can go back into your pure essence and get yourself out of that sewage. And when you get yourself out of that sewage, your parents will receive a document asking them, okay, you brought a child into this particular dimension, into the sewage, but the child has successfully gotten themselves out of the sewage. Do you also want to get yourself out of the sewage? Then the parent will say, yes, I want to get myself out of the sewage too. Then you guys can unite and go in heaven. But when the parents say no, even if they've gotten themselves out of the sewage, me, I want to stay in the sewage. So now it will be a battle. The most self-supporting will survive, the other one will die automatically. Now, different siblings also have different identity based on the chai their parents were consuming at their time of birth. Some chai was false. So ask yourself, was even the news false? Because a lot of people, especially Africans who are born into Christianity, you are born into false tea. If you are black and you are born into Christianity, you are born into false news. And you must step into the awareness of that in order for you to find your truth. Any African woman or any African child that was born into a Christian family, any African child who was born into a Muslim family, you are born into false tea. You are born into tea that is upside down, that is twisted. And so you must see it for what it is and get yourself out of it. Because the Vatican is false. And a lot of us were born into that. A lot of us were born into that. Somebody's telling me I wasn't planned, but my brothers was. Know that as much as you are intentions of your parents, you are intention of the bigger picture, your ancestors. So some of you, your parents might have not wanted to have you, but your ancestors did. So also always know, people who are conceived through things like rape. For you to find your own individual essence, you must go deep within yourself so much. Because some of you were conceived by force because you needed to come here and change the bloodline. You needed to come here and break the generational cycle that everybody is been playing cat and mouse with. So some of you were forced into your bloodlines. Your ancestors said that if we don't have this one, if we don't have bliss, line is gonna go extinct. So we must have bliss even though the parents will not want to have her. Even though the parents have not planned for her. So just know your essence. Know your essence. And after that, I'm going to be talking about... Just give me a minute. I want to talk about now the sex and the 12 houses. After you've known that. The house you're not strong in. We know the 12 houses by now. If you're in my class, because this one, all of you are in my class. If you're in my class, you know what the 12 houses are right now. You know what the 12 tribes of Israel are right now. And continue holding on to it because the future is that. In future, everybody knows about the 12 tribes. Everybody knows about the 12 houses. Just like in the past. This was basic common knowledge in ancient Africa. This thing about generations, it was basic common knowledge. 12 houses was basic common knowledge. 12 tribes was basic common knowledge. It is only weird in this particular timeline. But in the future timelines, that is what is going to be talked about. We are going to be talking about the 12 tribes and the 12 houses on a daily basis because that is what makes life. So therefore, the house you are not strong in, the person strong in it can sexually empower you. So you be strong in it too, if their brain is stronger than yours. My dear, the 12 houses, they start from authenticity. Now I'm going to start with you from authenticity. For example, you are not strong in authenticity. Know yourself. Maybe being authentic is very hard for you because you are born in a family of sewage. And me, I am very strong in authenticity. If my brain is stronger than yours, and you want to be authentic, the only road, the bridge you cross to that is we fuck, me and you, we have sex. You're going to be authentic tomorrow. I'm going to feed you authenticity immediately. Now, the other house is support. Maybe I am somebody who my self-support is very lacking. My throat chakra is blocked. But you, Dimples, your throat chakra is very strong. You are very powerful in your self-support. You've tamed the buffalo. If I want to also be strong as you are in your self-support, the easiest way for me to get there is if your brain is stronger than mine, we fuck, my self-support is automatically going to be strong. You're gonna give it to me via osmosis. So guys, I always want you to step in. As spiritual people know how to sexually hunt for the houses that you are not strong in. It doesn't kill. My dear, it doesn't kill. As long as you mean well. The only thing you want from me is self-support. Literally, and you mean well, you're not coming to steal anything from my 12 houses. Do it. Don't stay stuck when you know very well that you can fix your 12 houses by just getting a partner who is better. So when you're choosing partners, choose partners that are going to help you in your 12 houses. Choose partners that are going to help you in your 12 houses. Choose partners that are going to help you strengthen your 12 houses. Don't just sleep with people who are now, your 12 houses are not intact, and then you're going to sleep with people who are taking away from you. You're becoming poorer and poorer and poorer. Be strategic. Please be a good ambassador to the city that you represent. Good ambassadors, they bring investors. Good ambassadors, they don't go out bringing thieves. So please be a good ambassador to your body. Fuck people who can give you something. If you're somebody who you can't think for yourself, your Gemini house is fucked up. Look for some target, hand somebody who you know, hey, this one thinks for themselves. This one thinks for themselves. And me, I have a problem with thinking for myself. So fuck that person. So that you get what you, be a good ambassador. Be a good ambassador. Exactly. Your body will also tell you. Somebody's telling me, oh, that's why I've been crashing on Sagittarius. Yes. Your body will tell you that, my dear, our Sagittarius house is lacking. And how will you know that your body is telling you that? You will always just find yourself loving Sagittariuses, liking Sagittariuses. You dream like you're fucking Sagittariuses. And then you dream that you're fucking Sagittariuses and you decide to go do the opposite. You will die. So please, your body, get into communication with your body every Wednesday. Your body will tell you the people who are sexually attractive to you, the body parts that are sexually attractive to you, those are the body parts that your body is telling you that please, that one can help us. So in our city now, become the good ambassador and go bring us that investor. That one will help us with this house that we are lacking on. Be a good ambassador. Get out of Christianity. Christianity is brainwashing you to have pity on people, to fuck people based on pity. Christianity is lying to you to just love anybody. People who are demonic to you, Christianity is lying to you to marry them. Please stop. Don't do that. Become a good ambassador to your body. Only get sexually active or sexually intimate. Intimacy is like intimacy. Get people to see into yourself who can help you. Fuck investors. Don't fuck thieves. I hope that makes sense to somebody. What if I'm interested in tall and rich men only? If you're interested in rich men only and tall, tallness is representative of more memory. The body is a memory card. The more tall you are, the more memories you've accumulated. And then richness or wealth is representative of the neck. Self-support. So if you are interested in only rich and tall, then it is your body telling you that, oh, you probably need to venture into more memory and more self-support. So it's not a bad thing. You like what you like. It doesn't matter if people are calling you a prostitute. It doesn't matter if people are calling you a gold digger. Let the frogs croak. The frogs will always croak, but don't let the cow not drink the water because the frogs are making noise. Learn to live above the noise. Learn to live above the noise and shamelessly only go for what you like. Because at the end of the day, if people shame you out of what you like, it is your 12 houses that are going to suffer. Do not go for things that you don't like because societal norms or the status quo is stating a certain way. Now, the house you are strong in can also be drained out of you if you have sex with someone demonic about that house. And their brain is stronger than yours. They will suck you into their black hole. They will suck that house out of you. It is a dangerous affair. Sexuality is a dangerous affair. This is the reason why you will sleep with someone when you're very authentic, and then you fuck somebody who is not authentic at all, and then your authenticity disappears like that. You will be somebody who you are very self-supporting. You're very self-supporting. Your neck is strong. And then you fuck a weakling in self-support, somebody who is not self-supporting. Your self-support will disappear like that. So sex is very sacred. Every time you are orgasming, know that something is being conceived. So either something is being taken away from you or something is being given to you. I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying. Because this lesson is just short and precise like that. It is short and precise like that. I hope you guys are getting it. Please walk sober on this planet. Walk with your eyes open. Don't walk on this particular planet following status quo, following the Vatican, following the norms, the societal norms. Can you talk about, somebody is telling me to talk about spiritual husband. What a spiritual husband means is this. Memory. The memory that is perfectly cut for your intuition. Know that as a woman you are the ovum and there is a particular sperm that is specifically cut for you. So yes, spiritual husbands are a thing, spiritual wives are a thing. When you have a particular intuition, probably you are a woman, and your intuition is telling you that, oh, you need to have a ship in the ocean. You need to have a vessel in the ocean. You need to build a vessel in the ocean. There is a man also who is somewhere working actively towards building a ship in the ocean. So your intuition is telling you need to have a ship in the ocean, and there is a man who is already actively building a ship in the ocean. That is your spiritual husband. That is literally the concept of it in the shallow end. That is literally the concept of it in the shallow end. Can I manifest while having sex? Yes, please. That is what you should be doing while having sex. While you're having sex, what you should be doing is manifesting, because sexual energy is what creates. But now, what type of sex creates? Not all sex creates. Guiltless sex is what creates. When you're having sex that you want to create with it, there must be zero guilt in the subconscious. Zero guilt in the subconscious. Zero guilt in the subconscious. The moment you have guilt in your subconscious, that energy will not create to you what is favorable to your own essence. Thank you so much, Rita. Okay, somebody's asking, what if your body can't refuse a man that you try to move away from? So it means that you and your body, you are opposite. You are polar opposite. Your body wants something and you want something. So who are you? Who is this you? Because your body is your 12 houses. Your body is your 12 houses. Now, who is this you that is wanting different and your body is wanting different? You must come into union with yourself. Because when that is happening, then it means that your intuition and memory are not married. Remember, in ancient Africa, we had the rites of passages. These are the things that the colonizers termed barbaric. But what was the rite of passage? The rite of passage was ensuring that teenagers marry their intuition with their memory before they go open their legs outside. Because as long as you are a living deity and you are split within your consciousness, then it means that you are even split when you're having sex with people. You're still split. But the best way for you to have sex is for you to become whole. Become whole, marry your intuition and your memory so that you're moving in unison. Your body and you are moving in unison. What happens to my creative essence if I have a tubal ligation? What is a tubal ligation? The man can't be guilty either. Yes, the man can't be guilty either, guys. And women who are watching me, I want you to know men do not have space on this planet. The fact that men do not have womb, women are the womb men, womb men. There was a particular timeline where women were not called women, they were called womb men, men with wombs. Why? Men with spaces, men who have space. Men who have space. That is what to have a womb means. You have a space to create. Now, where do you create? It's either on earth, in the air, or on water. And then the men, they have the fire. The XY chromosome, the Y chromosome is representative of fire. Now, fire is what now alchemizes, catalyst. So if you're a woman who you're supposed to be creating on air, what does it look like to create on air? For example, building a university, that is you creating on air. Becoming an influencer, becoming a celebrity, that is you creating on air. If you have a space on air, and then you meet somebody else who, like a memory, a man who wants to create on air, they might maybe want to invent an aeroplane, or they want to build an aeroplane. Then for them to be successful in thriving in that air, there must be a woman behind. Every successful behind every successful man, there is a woman. And that woman is either his mother, his sisters, or his wife. So always know that. Women, we give men space. We are the ones who are here to give men the spaces they create on. What does it mean to create on water? For example, there's a lot of things that happen on water. Creating a fishing boat on water, that is you creating on water. Creating a ship that transports things from maybe West Africa to Brazil, that is you creating on water. Creating a ship, a luxury ship that people book to spend time on, that is you creating on water. There's so many things you can create on water. Endless, the list is endless. So always just know that women, you having a womb gives you a space on this particular planet to create on. Whatever you decide to create on it, it's up to you. If it is children you want to create on it, go ahead. But know that not all women want to create children. Not all women are here to create children. Some women, all they want to create are the luxury boats, the skyscrapers, build universities, build facilities. So as a woman also, don't be restricted to only creating children. Create children when you really feel called to create children. But know that womb, you don't just use it to create children. You can use it to create whatever you want. So guys, I said I'm gonna go live for 1 hour, and literally I meant it. That is all for today. Sweetie does manifesting while smoking catalyze our fire manifestation. Now, smoke is engaging with air signs. Know what the drugs are about. When you're smoking, you're just engaging with the air sign. Air. Brain. Your brain is walking around the planet, engaging with the air sign. And especially with the people who are also smoking the same thing that you're smoking. When you're drinking alcohol and any other substance, you are engaging with the water signs. Okay, when you're eating any edible or you're eating any food, you are engaging with the earth signs. So also always just know No, don't be scared on this planet. Some people are afraid to even try alcohol. It is all about you engaging with emotions. Some people are scared of smoking. It's all about you engaging with the air signs. Now, are you strong enough to withstand? Are you strong enough to withhold? If you know you are a weakling, please stay in your lane. If you know you are weak, don't try substances. Don't try engaging with the water sign if you know your emotions are fucked up. Don't try engaging with the air sign if you know that your brain is not ascended to a level where it can stomach the substance that you're engaging in. Otherwise, I know somebody saying no, but I told you guys, I'm on vacation. I'm on vacation, and please, I just want to continue doing my classes as usual, even as I do my other things in life. So please allow me to only be here for 1 hour, and then, thank you so much. I'm gonna be here again on Sunday to read for the people I'm supposed to be reading for, and then also do something else. Like on Sunday, I'm gonna be doing something else. I'll announce it in the course. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting me and supporting yourself, because I know the people who support me are only the people who support themselves too. So thank you for supporting yourself and supporting me also in the process. Good life. I know we're supposed to talk. I haven't found time yet. We're gonna talk. Actually, we're gonna have a one-on-one session so that we figure out, the best way to move forward with you. So don't be impatient.
Okay.
Just wait for me. Otherwise, thank you guys so much. See you guys on Sunday. And enjoy your lives as well. I'm sure you are enjoying your life wherever you are as well. And let's continue building our planet and ourselves. Thank you for everyone who subscribed tonight. I can't wait to see you on Sunday. Bye. Enjoy Lunated. Thank you. Thank you, Melo. Thank you, guys. Bye.